In this video, I will give you mine and my friend's reflection on the 2021 exam known as the Leaving Cert, or Le Bac if you're French. Due to everything that occurred in the country, our government decided to allow our teachers to assign us with a grade known as the accredited grade. We were given an option to get both, an accredited grade and to sit the real exam. We would get the higher of the two points-wise on the day of the results. We also had less questions to answer in the same allocated time, which meant we had more time per question than ever before. In a couple of days, I'll be posting my Leaving Cert results reaction video, so make sure to stick around and check it out. It will be in the top right corner here. These changes made me feel quite confident that we'll achieve at least 400 points out of the 625 points that are achievable. I wasn't stressed about these exams, they can only determine your future. No big deal. Instead of studying the first exam, which was English, I decided to study 2 days with my friend.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, correct. Even though I can't say anything about the English exam, I have a friend who actually sat the exam, and here are his words.
One of the most astonishing things I found about the Leaving Cert was the abundance of time there was for all of us to do the exam. For me, the most distinct memory was English. I walked out of that paper about 1 hour early. I felt great since that exam was made easier due to the complications going through as students. It felt great. I know the experience has been rocky the past year and a half of all of the class of 2021. Honestly, I felt great after each paper, and I would go through the Leaving Cert again without accredited grades, seeing how considerate the SEC was with the adjustments. I have no complaints.
Not studying the English exam gave me enough motivation to study maths for the first time ever. It allowed me to build exam technique, and I also learned a little bit about maths along the way. Even though maths was my first exam, I didn't feel too worried about it. Actually, as time came closer to the exam, I was a little bit stressed about it.
I can confirm that.
The maths exam consisted of 2 papers. Paper 1 and paper 2, don't ask me the difference, I don't know. But I felt paper 1 was much easier to understand and finish. Maybe I didn't feel as comfortable about paper 2 because paper 2 was on Monday and I wasn't going to study Saturday and Sunday. The whole exam felt much easier than what we have ever been given in class. Maybe because in class we get mocks and in the exam we get the exam. The maths exam definitely felt doable. As pointed out by my friend, there was an abundance of time to complete the exam. Here are a few words from my friends about their experience with the exam.
Looking back on the Leaving Cert, I can confirm that it's not as bad as it's made out to be. Although, I am happy it's all over because the exams are very long and tiring. The exams I was most happy with were biology, Irish and music because everything I studied came up in them. The one exam that I was really scared for was maths, and it turns out it wasn't too bad. I found paper 1 pretty okay, but paper 2 was challenging, as expected, because I'm not great with geometry. The one exam that I found tougher than expected was chemistry, but all my friends said the same thing, so it made me feel better when I came out of the exam. Let's just hope the standardization doesn't mess us all up.
The Leaving Cert was interesting. It felt like in every exam, apart from one, I had an extra hour or hour and a half, thanks to the adjustments this year. I had a scribe, which was challenging due to COVID, as we had to sit 2 meters apart. This made it very difficult to accurately communicate what I wanted them to write. I ended up having to hold up the exam paper and point at things. Most exams seemed easier than previous papers, except for ordinary level maths, which seemed a fair bit harder than some previous years. My choices were biology, history, and politics. Biology was alright, however, there were less questions on viruses than I expected. The history paper was pretty predictable, as it will probably end up being for next few years, because it's been 100 years since most of Irish history occurred. Politics was interesting. It split into 3 sections: short questions, document questions, and a long essay. The short questions were worded very poorly. The document-based question was alright, but the essay section only had 1 question about changing society at its core level after COVID. Overall, the paper was easy enough, however, it seemed to have a very heavy bias against capitalism and individualism.
In my opinion, the Leaving Cert was a lot easier than I would have expected. Regardless of the changes that could have been made, some subjects are naturally difficult, like maths or chemistry. To be honest, I would have flunked those subjects if there weren't any alterations. The changes made gave more time and choice to students. It gave a sense of freedom where you didn't have to know everything for the exams. If you forgot a topic or haven't covered it before in class, you could just skip it, and in my opinion that was a great idea. Not everyone is going to know everything in a subject unless they really like it, and that's okay. Students shouldn't be forced to answer something they aren't interested in, and I think this year the topics were spread out very well. If you've revised the right topics and picked out the right questions, you could skip an entire topic you didn't want to do. In physics, I skipped the questions about circular motion and answered questions that suited me more. I found circular motion difficult in class, so I'm glad I was given the option to skip that. I'm glad that next year's students will also get the privilege to skip what they didn't want to answer. One thing I would say is that not all subjects are the same in terms of difficulty. I'm speaking objectively when I say this. Some subjects are structured more harshly than others. For example, in art history, writing a 4-page essay nets only 40 marks, whereas in Russian, writing a 2-paragraph essay nets 30 marks. Sure, the art exam has 100 more total marks than Russian does, but writing in Russian may be complicated for new students. But it's not fair to overwork some students in one subject and underwork some in other. This isn't equality. I believe all subjects should be of similar difficulty, not what's going on here. This will allow for more flexible study instead of focusing on the more important subjects like English or maths that the Commission believes are crucial for all students to do. Those are some of my thoughts about the Leaving Cert. Some things need to change, some things need to stay the same, but most importantly, the focus of the exams shouldn't be to test your memory, but to test your understanding, because what's the point of these exams if they will be forgotten by students in a few years' time?
If you have sat the Leaving Cert this year or any other year, I wish you good luck with your results. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Check out the Leaving Cert results reaction video right here, and check out any other videos you might enjoy on the channel. Bye bye.